Austin Lingo versus Jacob Kilburn. We got minus 220 on the Fortis MMA product. Austin Lingo and plus 180 on Jacob Kilburn. Let's start off with Austin Lingo, who last was in the octagon against Yusuf Zalal, and it's been a crazy run that Zalal has been on since then. I think he's had 4 or 5 fights since this Austin Lingo fight, but Lingo taking a bunch of time off, and now we're seeing him roughly a year, just under a year later since his UFC debut. Now, he was 7-0 coming into the UFC, and he was the favorite, or roughly around the same type of favorite he was in this. He is in this fight. He was the same over Yusuf Zalal, and the fight just did not go the way that I expected it to. I believe that my one of my plays that night was the under 2.5 in that fight. However, we saw a very grappling heavy approach from Yusuf Zalal, taking down Lingo almost time after time again and doing some good work from on top. And then even when the fight was on the feet, he did a really good job with his kicks, keeping Lingo on the outside. As we know, that Lingo more often than not likes to get his punches going rather than working in that kicking range. So that's why I really think that Austin Lingo dropped the ball. Most of his fights have been a victory via KO pretty early in his fights. He goes out there, he has dynamite in his hands. He's able to pretty much just clip anybody he wants and pretty much put them down. And I think given the stylistic matchup here against Jacob Kilburn, it almost plays right into his hand. I think we're going to see a bit of a firefight here, which is why one of the totals actually piqued my interest, actually then picking a side here. Like now the under 2.5 is at plus 115, and I think at plus money, given the status of both guys and how they fight and the types of fighters that they are, I feel like they're both going to engage in the striking range, and one of them is going to land a bomb that could potentially put the other out. Now, in terms of how many times they've actually gone to a decision, so we got Jacob Kilburn, who's seen the scorecards twice in his career, whereas Austin Lingo has only seen it. I just want to confirm this number before I talk out of my ass. So the Yusuf Zalal fight, Phil Gonzalez, and Charles Williams. So 3 out of his 8 fights have gone to a decision. Jacob Kilburn, on the other hand, just confirming those numbers again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of 9 fights. But given the style, like I said, given the styles of these guys, they're primarily strikers. They like to go out there. They like to throw those bungalows. Lingo, on the other hand, I feel like he's more of a combination fighter. A very great camp as well, too. Like I said, with Fortis MMA, these guys know how to train their guys. Saif Sayoud is an absolute magician when it comes to working with these guys and kind of just developing solid game plans. I like what we're seeing from Lingo. Great combinations, great hands, solid footwork as well too. And then Jacob Kilburn, on the other hand, more of a one and done puncher. Like he doesn't really throw many combinations, but he throws a variety of strikes, whether it's a kick, whether it's a teep, elbows, spinning kicks, whatever the hell it is. But he doesn't seem to really throw it in too many combinations. Now we've seen Jacob Kilburn have a couple opportunities to try to have success. And I was actually looking at his amateur career when I was talking about his decisions. But in terms of Jacob Kilburn's pro career, he's gone to a decision two times out of 11 fights. So again, I like the under 2.5. But like I said, Jacob Kilburn likes to throw a lot of spinning stuff. We've seen him on the Contender Series lose via dart choke to Bobby Moffett, and then obviously we saw him in the UFC lose via triangle choke to Billy Q. It seems like his kryptonite is guys don't want to grapple, and I don't think that we're going to see that from Austin Lingo here. I think we're going to see both of these guys kind of try to show off their balls and swing for the fences. Obviously not like stupidly like a Don Fry type of scrap. I can't remember the guy that he fought, but you guys know what fucking fight I'm talking about. I'm not expecting them to just hold each other by the head and try to see who gets knocked out first, but I do think that we'll see these guys throw bombs. I doubt we'll see either of them kind of engage in that grappling instance. More often than not, their fights are in the stand-up realm unless their opponents really want to drag it to the ground, like the Billy Q's and the Bobby Moffetts against Jacob Kilburn. And then Austin Lingo, the Yusuf Zalal fight, is the perfect example of that as well too. So I like Austin Lingo to win this fight. I'm not sure if I'd be 100% down to bet him at minus 220 though. I need to see more from him. Just going out there and knocking dudes out pretty quickly is just not not the way to really sell me. You know what I mean? Even the Phil Gonzalez fight where he won via decision, I just don't have access to that tape or that footage, so I'm not really sure how he went about actually securing that victory, whether it was through grappling, whether it was through striking, whatever it was. But, he's going out there and knocking dudes out. And I think he'd absolutely do the same thing against Jacob Kilburn here. But I would rather bet the under 2.5 just in case Kilburn lands some sort of bomb. But I do like Lingo to win this fight via KO. So I think we'll see these boys kind of just throw bungalows, throw more combinations from Lingo, maybe a better game plan from Lingo as well too. Whereas Jacob Kilburn, we'll see him kind of just try to chip away and then wait to land that big bomb. So once again, I'll go with Austin Lingo to win this fight via KO, probably first or second round. But I think the spot here would be the under 2.5 at plus 115.